Hey, everybody, you're back with Dave and Ed, and this is To the Death Podcast.
And today, I am interviewing my best buddy, Dave.
You're interviewing me?
I always interview you. I'm the king.
Wait, didn't we say this the exact same way the last time it was just the two of us?
Yeah. We're just keeping the tradition alive.
I don't know if this is an interview, though. This is a discussion.
Yeah. This is our 5th episode, just me and you, right? 1, 2, 3.
I don't know. Why are you focused
10.
on that?
I like to think about it.
Can't we just talk?
I like to keep the numbers in check.
So this was supposed to be with a guest, which is okay. Our guest had a last-minute cancellation. We were trying to save our episode recap for episode 20. So now instead it's episode 19.
You know, maybe 10 weeks ago, I would have been very upset about this. But now it's expected. I expect you to fail, and I'll just carry the load.
Well, thank you. Yes, don't set your goals too high. Don't set your expectations too high, and you will never be disappointed. So, yeah, this is episode 19, episode recap instead of 20. So now next time, maybe it's going to be 27, because Ed wanted a weird number for some reason.
No, I think we'll just take it how it comes, and we'll see what happens.
I told you the last time we did this, and I'm going to say it again now. I want more episodes of just you and me. We can recap our training a little bit more, some of the things that we're working on, some of the things we're failing with, maybe even talk about pit stop or over-under passing.
All right, yeah, those are part of the topics we have, so can we get into it, or it's just us? So
yeah, that's fine. Let's go. What are you doing? You should already cut me off. This is
To the Death Podcast,
episode 19.
Dave and Ed.
I have food in my teeth. How was that steak?
I got food in my teeth.
Do you?
In my back. I always get in the back 2 teeth. I need the floss sticks.
Floss sticks?
You don't have floss sticks in your house?
I don't even know what a floss stick is. Is it a toothpick or a floss?
Both. Let's get the little thing.
Floss stick. That's what those are called?
Oh, yeah. What did you think it was called?
I don't know. I thought they had like Colgate blah. I don't know.
Those things have to be in the top 10 inventions ever.
Can I come up with something stupid like that? What's wrong with your fingers? You can't just use your fingers, wrap some floss around them, and get in there?
Nah, I don't like it. It's too much work.
Of course you don't like that. Anything like work you don't like. Speaking of work, let's just jump right into it, Ed. How is work going for you?
I mean, work is going the way I expected it to go. Give and take. You got to give something good, which is the 5 days off a week, to get something good. Relationships with new men.
Interesting. That's the direction you're headed in now?
No, I met all these guys that are firemen now.
I'm not surprised.
No, but I made...
Wait, while we're talking about that, Ed, what are you drinking right now? It's purple.
No, so you got me one of these Truly lime seltzers. They are not our sponsor because you don't know how to get a sponsor. But you're trying to get me drunk, and so you could take advantage of me.
Maybe. We are out in private.
Yeah, well, you've been hounding me for my schedule. It's not changing for 3 more weeks.
I know, but no, you just have to tell me what day you're off. Because still, even though you like to think and say you're working 5 days a week, I don't think you've worked a 5-day work week yet.
I just did. Today's Friday. I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, you were supposed to be off on Wednesday, though.
Yeah, Daddy got some overtime. I need it.
I would let you move in with me if you needed to.
If I needed to? What is that supposed to mean?
If you sold your house so that you can become Mr. Moneybags.
All right, let's do it. Let's team up.
And then you can move into my house.
What about my wife?
Yeah. I guess she could live here, too. Can you just, segregate her?
Don't say that.
Separate her from the rest of the group.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
What about my daughters?
They can roam the whole house.
I was talking to Z about what she was doing with that little game she has.
It's not a game. She's designing stuff on there.
It's cool.
Yeah. She's very inventive. I
bet that. If my daughter sat next to her, she could just sit and watch her do that all day. She wouldn't even have to be involved. Just look at it.
I told you what to do with your daughters. We're not going to talk about it on this podcast, but I have ideas for you and your girls. Z is great with younger kids. You should definitely bring them over.
All right.
You and your girls.
What about my wife?
Like I said, you
She's a girl
and
too.
Your girls. I know. I'm including her in that. I'm just trying to sound like I'm being mean.
You want me to bring my meatballs?
Listen, I'm not sure you really know how to make meatballs. By the way, how was my steak?
Steak was great. I mean, you didn't prepare it. All you did is put it on the stove and heat it up. You burnt the pan.
I didn't heat it up. I cooked it. I forgot to put water in that pan. I'm dead. Wife's going to kill me. Maybe her mom saw it, and her mom's taking care of it for me.
Doubt it. That's your mess.
I doubt it, too.
You got to clean your own mess sometimes.
I just did, like a magician.
I don't know why would you tell inside jokes on here that nobody else will ever get?
Because it made you smile when I said it.
What happened to Phil? Is Phil ever going to listen? Does he
I don't
listen?
know. Phil, do you listen? If you listen, text me. I'm not sure. I know he did, but I don't know if he does.
I want to see him again. He hasn't come and trained in a long time.
I trained with him at Dan's house. house when Dan had a barbecue.
Really?
Yeah.
Barbecue plus jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, he rolled out the mats in his garage, and a bunch of us brought gis, and we trained.
Weirdos.
Well, maybe a little bit, but that's us.
All right, you want to get into this now?
We are into it.
Yeah, I know, but get into a little recap. It's our first time talking since episode 10. We've had a lot of guests since then.
But we really haven't even focused on the 5-day work week.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, we could talk more about this 5-day work week.
Fine, go ahead.
I feel like it's starting to affect your training.
It's affecting my training for sure.
Why?
Well, first of all, I took an overtime, and, I'm not used to working every day, So then I get...
It's rough being normal.
I don't like being normal. I got to be different. I need a lot of me time. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe. You get the air on. It's nice, too.
I can turn it off.
No, then I get too hot in
Oh,
here.
I might be able to turn it down. Keep talking. 5 days a week. It's tough, affecting your training.
I know, but it's not going to last forever. I'm excited for it to be over. I'm going to put more work into it. We'll start talking about doing these videos. We can't do it on the current schedule that I have. It's just not going to happen.
But we did shoot a video that I am looking very forward to putting out.
I thought you were going to start working on it. You've been off all week.
I've been very busy this week. I
What
got
about
a
next
sudden
week?
side project. Next week, my schedule is more open. But this week, I got sidetracked with a sudden project that had to be completed. It still has to be completed. It's not done yet. I have to have it done by Monday.
Okay. Are we going to get a spanking if you don't do it?
No, then it'll be incomplete for even longer. So it's got to be done by Monday.
Well, I wanted to talk about procrastinating. How much procrastinating do you do in real life?
I don't think I do too much, but I probably do my fair share. I feel everybody does some procrastinating, but for the most part, I would say that I'm pretty proactive.
I know, with this podcast, you procrastinate a lot. There was these shirts that we were supposed to have made, perspective or something about that.
I don't think we're doing the perspective. That might be round 2.
How about a shirt in general? Can we have a shirt?
I have a shirt. You want me? You want it? I'll sell it to you.
No, I want you
$5.
to make a round. Make a round of shirts.
I'm going to make a round of shirts.
When?
It's in the works.
Sponsors, right? We were going to do that.
Listen, I've reached out to everybody and their mother. I've even had people teasing me, having conversations back, and they're like, we're just doing this to shut you up. Thanks, guys.
Well, I think 2020 has something to do with it.
It might.
So we'll get them next year. I mean, we could still keep trying, but...
Great. Oh, so we'll just keep chugging along?
I love chugging.
Oh, my
Have-
God.
you-
Chug that. Chug that.
I don't chug Trulies. Stop mentioning it.
I was going to say, stop saying their name. Is there alcohol in that? That's alcohol, right?
5%.
I don't know. You said seltzer.
It is seltzer, hard.
Oh, hard seltzer. You didn't say hard before. You just said lime seltzer.
Well, I do a lot of procrastinating, but
Tell me.
with this podcast, I don't procrastinate as much.
As much.
Jiu-jitsu, this week
Number
was-
one procrastination.
It was rough this week.
You found a lot of excuses not to train this week.
I had an appointment yesterday, so I couldn't do it yesterday. Wednesday was the overtime day. I just wanted to chill. Tuesday, I was there. Monday,
You didn't train today?
No,
You're
Monday.
not training tomorrow?
Listen, so I'll get into that. Monday, I spent my first night back at Up Top since February.
Was Yanni happy to see you?
He loved it.
Did he?
We sat and talked for probably 2 hours after class.
I text you and I didn't get a text back and I knew you were talking.
Yeah,
I'm glad that he brought me up in conversation though.
he didn't.
What? What do you mean?
We were just, what were we talking about? I don't know. I was telling him all the stuff I was watching, the Ryan Hall stuff. We were talking about podcast stuff. He does those videos on his YouTube, so he was giving me some advice on the Adobe
he-
Premiere.
Has he been continuing with the videos?
Not like he was.
Okay.
He doesn't have as much time now.
No, now that he's working,
Every day.
open, whatever.
He's
you wanna
open
call
every
it.
day. It was good to be back in the room. One of the white belts came up to me, tell me he loved the podcast. I was like, yes, thank
That's
you.
good. Ed finally got some feedback, everyone, so thank you for that. What
Dan.
was this gentleman's name?
It's a good question.
Ed, what was this
I
gentleman's
should
name?
know his name.
Ed, what was this gentleman's name?
I don't know.
And he just switched to a different podcast.
There
Thank
was
you,
another,
Ed.
Another guy that's been training a month. I don't know if I forgot his name.
I'm glad that he enjoyed the podcast. And if you send me an email, I'll be happy to give you a shout out.
I'm so sorry. I'm like Bones. Remember he said he's not good with names, but the faces.
Well,
I know
yeah,
the
you
face.
remember the guy's face?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do he look like?
A guy. Skinny.
Okay. What color eyes did he have?
Don't know. I
Me
don't-
either. My wife will ask me all the time when I'm trying to describe someone to her. She'll be like, what color were his eyes? And I'll go, what? I don't know. Who looks at that?
You know what it is? I don't look at eyes. When people talk to me, I look at mouths because I kind of like to read the lips and to hear it.
Yeah.
It helps me.
Right. People
can-
have eyes, I'm
I
sure.
can tell you what their teeth look like.
What were his teeth like? Did he have braces?
He did.
He did. Still had braces.
No, still didn't have them. He had them in the past.
Oh, you could tell that they were straight. His teeth
yeah,
were
I
straight.
could tell. I had
All right.
braces, so I know.
Did he have an overbite or an underbite? Was it just
All
right?
right, that's enough. People get the point.
I'm just trying to prove my
Anyway,
point
so
now.
I went to Yanni's and he does 8-minute rounds. My body was not prepared for that. I looked up at the clock when the round should have been close to over and there was still over 2 minutes left and I was like, what? No.
Why does he do that?
He loves to push himself.
That's good. I like that too, actually. I'm going to increase rounds again. We were doing 8-minute rounds on Tuesdays.
Please.
We did. Why? Just why not?
I've been telling you, I don't like rounds. I don't like only doing rounds. When we do the technique, I like to do positional training.
I agree with you.
And then maybe 2 rounds. I think you do
I
more
love
positional.
the positional training. We've been doing a lot of positional training lately. But you know what was funny? The other day when I gave the chance for students to vote what we were going to do next, whether we were going to do another technique or rounds, everyone voted rounds.
I was very disappointed, very.
But maybe next time I'll give a vote. Should we do positional sparring or rounds? What do you think they're going to choose?
Rounds, because rounds are more fun and more free to do what you would like. Positional training is very specific and tough. There's no breaks.
That's why I liked when we were doing our little secret sessions and we were doing positional training, because you get more
Chances.
out of what you're trying.
People don't take risks. Me especially. I am guilty of this. If you're going to give me a chance to cheat or take a break, I'm going to do it. I'll wait, and then maybe there's a minute left, and I'll go a little harder. During positional training, you could take more chances. Like if I make a big mistake, I'm not stuck in side control. Yeah, just try again.
Start over again.
And you're forced to really play every time. So you're going to get in better shape, and you'll get to try techniques you're working on over and over again.
You know what's funny? I was rolling with someone the other day, and we were stuck in this like weird stalemate position. I felt like I was in the better position, but I couldn't do anything. I was just like locked down. They had me trapped in a certain way. And I was thinking of tapping just so that we could get a reset and continue to train instead of sitting there for 2 more minutes.
But you didn't.
No, I eventually got out, but I think that they were probably thinking the same thing and just let go. I didn't do anything specific to get out.
I would just hold there. I can't stop myself. I just can't stop myself. I don't want to lose. I still have a huge connection, my ego, to training. That's why positional training forces me to just not care.
That's good insight.
And I don't think you should give your students choices on whether or not to do it. We got to force them to positionally train, and then they could see the benefits afterwards. I don't think they can understand it unless we just force them.
You just want to force people to do things they don't want to do. I understand. That sounds like you.
They don't know what's going on. They don't know how to get better like I know how to get better. I just don't do it because I'm a procrastinator. But I've seen it work. The reason that I give you such a hard time is because when I was almost a purple belt, I was doing this for months and months and months. And I feel like I'm just still good from then because of that. I haven't gotten any better, but
I think we're all getting better.
I don't know.
What happens when we visit other schools or we have visitors?
I visited Guma, BJJ, and Clifton, take a judo class and do open mat. And yeah, it was fun training with guys. They were playing half guard over underpasses. I loved it. I was so happy.
But how did you feel when you were going with new partners?
I felt good. There was a couple guys there that were good, give me a hard time, but it was nice. They weren't doing the standing passes that everybody else is doing, so it was fun. You would play great over there, doing butterfly guard. You would love it.
I know, but I hate playing butterfly guard because I feel like it's cheating for me.
No, it's not. So if people are going to play there, play it. There's no reason not to play. But if they're going to stand and you try to force half guard or butterfly, that's the problem that I have. Like if I'm like in a midway and you pull me onto you or stuff, you don't really do that. Maybe you used to, but like, get double unders, try to scoot under them. But if they're already down there and they're trying to play low over underpasses, you can put your feet on them. Actually, that's one of the things. We were talking about over underpasses and one of the guys started doing on me from that school and I'm like, it's not going to happen. There's no way.
So full of yourself.
I'm telling you, I haven't been over underpass since a long time because nobody really does it. And when they do it, they haven't done it as long as I've done it. I mean, if I roll with like somebody like Murillo Santana, of course he would crush me there.
The musician?
Yeah. Well, we were talking to Bones, and he was impressive, big, but he had the same kind of mindset that Roberto had. He was trying to calm the ego and really focus on, if he could win, he'll let go of the grips. Not me. I'll hold the grips. Remember the other day we were rolling?
Oh my gosh!
I kept that grip forever.
Yeah. Did I end up passing though? No,
you can't pass.
I got to 3/4 mount and I couldn't get my foot out.
I did that with Kyle the other day too. He's like almost pass, almost. He's like at the end of the round, I was like, did I get any points? And I was like,
advantage.
A bunch. He probably had 6.
So we won.
Oh, he won.
So you lost.
I always lose.
Okay, so then why not just move on?
Because I'm an idiot.
Oh, all right. Agreed.
Why are you so mean all the time?
I'm not arguing with you. I'm being a yes man. What's wrong with being a yes man? I just agreed with you and you don't like it. If I would have argued with you, you wouldn't have liked it.
You've disagreed with me so much, I can't even tell anymore like if you're patronizing me or not.
Well, I wanted to be a little bit of a yes man and I wanted to have some agreeing times, some agreements.
Yeah, how about some agreements? Let's have some agreements.
All right. Why don't we talk about agreements? How about past guests of ours? 2 Live Fools.
2 Live Fools. They love to agree.
Never disagree.
I think it's fine to mostly agree, but you can't always agree.
They always agreed.
I know. I was really trying to get them to say something disagreeable.
That was the goal. We went in there. Sorry, guys. We enjoyed the podcast, but we did have a goal of making you disagree.
And we failed.
Miserably.
Maybe we'll try again one day. We got to really try to focus in on something. If anybody listens to our podcast and you could figure out a nugget to give us to kind of work on, I want it.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Maybe not. But we should agree more. So we shouldn't only disagree. I think that's wrong,
just
too.
agreed with you and you weren't happy about it.
Yeah. But, I mean, all right, I have to start letting some of these agreements in because I've been keeping out the negativity, but I keep out the positivity, too. I just keep it all out. Just don't let any of it in.
I texted you the other day about letting negativity in, and I'm always letting your wife's judgments in.
She's very judgmental.
How much alcohol is in that drink?
5%. I haven't even finished one yet.
I know. I love it. He's already slurring his words.
I hang out with some of my friends, who drink a little more regularly, and by the time I finish one, they got 5 down. I just can't.
Oh my gosh. So listen, you want to hear a funny story?
I love funny stories.
Okay, funny story. It was like 4, man, it may even have been longer. Let's just say many moons ago, I went to TGI Fridays with a friend of mine. We were just hanging out. Just went, the two of us, to sit, hang out. He needed some space, time away from his family, so I went with him. I had 3.5 beers.
Oh.
All right? 3.5 beers. Before we left, I threw up.
What?
Yes.
From being too drunk?
Yes.
What about the food? Did you eat the food?
No. I mean, I had something. But we were just hanging out at the bar.
Was that the last time you drank?
No, I'll occasionally sip on something.
Wine?
I do enjoy wine, yes.
Ugh, I hate wine.
But I have a Scotch blend in the house that I enjoy.
Oh.
Would you like me to get that next?
You got your little alcohol card over there?
Do you see how many bottles are on that thing?
Yeah, what? You don't even drink. Why do you have so much alcohol? You have a lot of parties?
We have a lot of people over. Yeah.
Never me. Never been here.
You were just here. This is your 3rd time at my house.
Oh, you're counting?
Yes.
I can't remember.
I have a counter like one of the umpires do. Your dad would know about that. What's that counter called?
I don't know.
Mr. John Galante?
Clicker.
A clicker? So, but anyway, 3.5, not like a sloppy mess, all right? I made it to the bathroom, but that was my story. 3.5 beers, drunk as a skunk, throwing up, hungover the whole next day. I had a call out of work, and I worked nights.
That's good, though. I'm glad you don't drink.
I just don't enjoy it.
You don't enjoy it like a nice light buzz?
No.
Okay.
I don't like my mind being altered, but I do enjoy sipping on a glass of wine.
The taste of it?
Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah, but you said, haven't we talked about this? Isn't there something with if you enjoy the taste of coffee, you enjoy the taste of wine, something to that effect?
Oh, that could be true.
I thought you said that.
I hate the taste of coffee.
I love the taste of coffee.
But my wife loves coffee. She hates wine. She won't drink anything.
Oh, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't need you to tell me anything. But let's talk about agreements then. I don't want to talk about alcohol.
We didn't say anything bad. Don't drink.
Let's talk about Alan, our first guest after the last time we spoke together.
So we're going to recall it number 1.
Number 1.
One with a 1 next to it.
We spoke to Alan. Oh, I love that episode.
Alan who? I forgot his name.
Tio.
I was just kidding. I didn't forget.
You were trying to get me to say it wrong.
I was trying to get you to slip. That's right. Alan Tio was a lot of fun. Man, I was shocked. I feel like there should be more information about Alan out there. He should be more well known in the jiu-jitsu community, especially locally.
He's pretty known locally. I've been talking to a bunch of people about Alan. Everybody's knows about him as like he has connections to the judo world. I think Travis Stevens was training there for a little bit. I think he gave Travis Stevens a blue belt, or was that somebody else? Yeah,
no, that was him. Yeah,
exactly.
You can hear all about it on episode 11.
Yeah, and he let us in his house, which was amazing.
Nobody usually lets Ed in their house, so
yeah, Dave will never even let me in his house.
No, never. I just let you in and I made you dinner.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Thank you.
I liked it. Is there more?
There is more.
I'm gonna need to take a break.
My son finished all the rice, though. You'll have to go for the mashed potatoes.
Who made those? You?
No.
Good. I'll eat them.
What do you mean? I make great mashed potatoes. I like them with just a little lump.
Clumpy lump? Do you
Just
put the
a
skin?
little.
You like skin?
It depends on my mood, if I'm feeling lazy
My
or
wife
not.
hates skin. No skin
Yes,
on any
skin
potatoes.
in the mashed potatoes.
Never. Oh, so we're going to do a little tally here. Alan definitely used to prefer no-gi because all his competitions were no-gi. He went to the ACC trials, but now he loves the gi. He rarely trains no-gi.
Does that make him a gentleman in your eyes, Ed?
He's definitely a gentleman. Come on.
Well, like you say. Give it to me.
We got to stop repeating ourselves.
Well, that's going to be one of our future T-shirts.
Yeah, we should have the front like a businessman in a nice suit.
In the back?
Like Clark Kent looking.
Clark Kent.
The back, it's just like a Tarzan savage with the teeth.
Tarzan had teeth?
No, but like sharp teeth. Like make him look like...
So like he didn't have braces?
Yeah, like no braces.
Okay.
Not a vampire, but like, the gorilla teeth?
Yeah, they're straight.
They're straight,
I don't
but
know.
they're pointy.
Are gorilla teeth pointy?
Are there gorillas?
You might be right. I have no idea.
Not chimpanzees.
I don't know.
Tarzan.
Oh, boy.
You got nothing else to say about Alan?
No, I enjoyed my time with Alan. I want to get back to normal, and I just want to get down there. I want to train with Alan.
I know, it's so tough for you.
I feel like he could really add to my game. A smaller guy, super technical, judo skills. I really want to do some self-defense work with him,
Are you going
to
come to the judo with me?
I don't know if this week. Eventually, yes.
You should. I'm going to go on Sunday, and it's going to be fun. It's tough. Judo's tough.
Can I pull guard?
No.
I'm not pulling guard.
I was talking to
Tomonagi.
I was talking to him at work, and he was just his mentality, the mentality of the old school judo, because he started in the 90s. There wasn't jiu-jitsu around when he started judo.
How old is he?
49.
Right now?
Yeah.
How old?
49.
49. He's only a little bit older than me.
Yeah, but he was like a teenager when he started doing judo. And
Are you going to just keep referring to him as him, or do you want to give his name or say anything else about him, or are you just going to keep it at him for now?
Chief Osario.
There you go.
Jose. He's big. Stocky.
Great.
Yeah.
What do you think he weighs?
Over 200.
So he's close to your weight.
Probably a little heavier. But he was showing me some of the throws, and he lifted me when I wasn't ready, and then obviously I stiffened up. I almost hurt myself. Not his fault. I'm so scared.
Didn't I try and prepare you for this before you left because I was worried about you getting hurt?
Well, this is another thing we talk about. Is like Yanni's been telling me I'm stiff for years and years. I've been a brown belt for 4 years. All 4
more
years.
to go.
Every time he watches me roll, he's just like, come on.
He's waiting for you to loosen up.
Loosen up. But I don't know how. How do you loosen up? I don't know how to be like Bruce Lee.
Maybe if he watched himself, he would judge himself the same way. Do you think?
No, he's not stiff at all. He floats.
I'm just curious.
He just lets it go with the flow. He's not strong. He's like you. He couldn't use his strength.
But good at jiu-jitsu?
Fantastic.
He's like me, but good at jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah.
You have to put that part in there, too.
No, but you're stiff.
But
Too
not
stiff.
strong.
Yeah, you're stiff and not strong. The worst combo ever. Because now you're going with me. You're like trying to force your way in. It's not going to happen.
But I have been giving you a hard time.
Not hard time. There's a difference. You have been making me do the moves more correctly. Like you're not letting me cheat, which is nice.
Wait a second. And I almost got your back the other day. I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm sweeping you.
No.
That's a sweep. You went to your back after that, and then you swept me right back.
Yeah, you did. All right, one sweep. I haven't been getting swept
What
by
do you
guys.
mean one sweep?
Listen, you, Kyle, Dan, I haven't been getting swept by you guys. I've been getting passed because that's the problem with us four. All of us are better on top than the other guy. So whoever starts on top is going to have the advantage. When I went with Yanni the other day, doesn't matter where I am. He got under me, swept me. I tried to over-under him. Wasn't happening.
He got under you from the over-under.
No, not from over-under. I started over-under, and I knew I wasn't going to get through. I wasn't going to force my way, so I stood up.
And that's when it all fell apart. And that's when
he put me in like X guard. I'm not good from X guard at all.
I know.
On top.
I know. Do you remember when you and I started in single leg X?
That was single leg X. I'm not good from any X's. People X their legs in between my legs, it's over. You're going to get me down.
Good to know.
You too.
Good to know.
You go down too.
Yeah. Hey,
when I sweep you, it's usually X guard.
You hit me with a beautiful X guard sweep the other day.
I think that's the only sweep that I've been hitting consistently. Nobody's playing low, so I can't play half guard or butterfly guard.
You're forcing a new position. You're forcing reverse Delahiva. You want to start getting better at that position. You're forcing it. I'm acknowledging it. It could be because you said something to me about it, and you've been hitting sweeps from there. Great.
Yeah, my mindset's been changing since I started watching Ryan Hall's DVD, and all his jiu-jitsu is based on MMA, like getting punched in the face, So he keeps people at a distance, and he'll just stand up. And you know how I feel about just standing up. But now we're going to start practicing from there.
I know. What have you been doing all week, Ed?
Just standing up, kneeing people in the face by accident. Sorry, Dan.
His eye was huge the next day.
I felt terrible. As soon as my knee hit his face, I'm like, phew. It was a hard hit.
It was a hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Giant black eye, cheek still swollen the next day. That's why you didn't come.
I was embarrassed.
That's what embarrassed you? You have so many other things that you should be embarrassed about.
Go ahead. Let's stop with the agreements and go ahead. Tell me how much of an embarrassment I am. Go ahead.
You're a little bit of an embarrassment.
Is it because of my fat belly?
No.
I was at the academy today teaching. And
what's the academy?
The training academy.
Okay.
At work. I was at work, and I was sitting talking, and I was just, sitting. One of the guys came up and rested a can of Coke right on my fat stomach, and it bounced perfectly.
Did you take a picture?
No.
Why not? That could have been great for an audiogram.
I can't be taking pictures at work. That's not how it works. You take pictures at work and post them on the internet? No.
No, but that's just because I don't like to tell people where I work.
All right. Me neither.
You just did.
Well, they don't know where it is.
The Academy of Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah. I've been talking to people a lot about, I always wanted to open a jiu-jitsu school since the beginning.
Really?
Well, at least be a part of one.
You are a huge part of one.
No. But, partner.
Oh, okay.
Have a lot of responsibility to that school. The more that we've been doing this podcast. I've been traveling to schools. I don't want that at all anymore. I want to be untethered. I want to buy a trailer and travel the country like Budo Jake was doing.
Budo Jake. Yeah, what were those? Rolled up, right?
Yeah. Back then, when I started watching those, I was like, oh my God, I would love to do that. But I was a crappy blue belt back then. I couldn't do that. Wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, but he wasn't doing it. He was doing it before he was a black belt.
No, he was a brown belt. Like, now I'm a brown belt. I feel like now I could do it. I have enough where, when I go to all these schools, I do the same exact thing I do at your school, at Yanni's school. I roll people, I put them in over-under, I pass them, the lower belts, and then I show them like this, and this. It's always the same. It's always the same. Everybody makes the same mistakes usually. That's why we're going to start doing the YouTube stuff, because I could feel like I can help a wide range of people with very simple mistakes that we all still make.
What we should do, Ed, is we should offer a to the death seminar.
Ooh.
We'll go out together and we could teach people these moves at the same time.
You gonna teach them? You're gonna teach them how to lay there and take an over underpass?
Absolutely.
You're the best at that.
It takes a special kind of human to be able to just get squished day in and day out and continue to come back for more.
One of the things that, I'm really impressed by you is your butterfly defense. When I get on top of your butterfly, I can't do any hop overs. It's hard to do that knee cut from there, like the old school knee cut. I got to usually get out of there and switch to something else like over under. But then once I get to over under, I've been getting really good at it. Come on.
You better ease up there,
Come
pal.
on.
I'm pretty sure I'm shutting your over under down
You gotta
at
be
least 50% of the time.
You got to be joking.
50% of the time?
No.
Yes.
Sometimes you can make it take a long time to get past, but
50%.
Come on, don't lie.
Yeah, I'm telling the truth.
You're not.
But you know what I like about what you just said?
You're delusional.
Because you reminded me of something that you said a few weeks ago, that when you roll with anyone else and you get put in butterfly guard, you almost chuckle because you can just get through it so easily.
You can feel. I don't know. What's your favorite pass that you're good at? Knee cut?
I like leg weave, actually. Leg weave is my favorite.
Yeah, when you get the legs just facing the other way, your knee on the floor, head next to their head, it's over.
Yeah.
When I get to a certain spot and over under on certain people, I'm like, ooh, maybe I should ease up a little bit. Like, this is way too easy.
Okay.
But then I pass, and then I let them get back, and then I pass. I do that one a lot.
Okay.
It feels great.
I don't understand what you were talking
about. I was
just saying about butterfly guard. You complimented me.
Well, yeah, complimented you. So now when I go to these other people and they put me in butterfly and they're not really off balancing me or putting pressure on my underhooks and stuff, I just know I'm going to hop over and it's going to happen.
Just a breeze.
Yeah, but then there's other people, like guys that are very explosive, usually wrestlers that don't want to be down there. It's hard to do the hop over pass. But you're doing good at attacking underhook.
I have a couple of very tough wrestlers in the school right now. How have you been managing with them?
Sam, kid's a monster.
Absolute animal.
He's the person you want to train with. If you want to get fantastic at half guard, roll with a college level wrestler that's over 200 pounds, that's going to put a nice strong overhook in so that when you come up, they just put you right back down. If you could take them down, that's a great half guard. I don't think I can take him down.
I played a beautiful half guard against him the other day. You were there.
Did
he
you
couldn't
finish?
Pass. I was almost sweeping him.
That's what Kyle was doing. You're watching brown belts roll with this white belt, but college wrestler, he's just on a different level in those positions. So strong.
Yeah, very strong. 260 pounds.
60? I thought he was only 240.
260. I'm guessing. I don't know.
I think he's 240.
I thought he was 260.
You love to exaggerate.
I'm going to ask.
Can we talk about
I'm pretty
exaggerations?
sure that he said, but I haven't asked him what he wrestles, what his weight is during the season, things like that.
You do exaggerate.
Never.
I don't
Never, ever.
I'm not a big fan of exaggerations. I love literal to the point.
You do?
Yeah.
Since when?
Always. Especially with weight. When you talk about my weight, it really hurts my feelings.
You don't have feelings.
I have a lot of feelings. I'm not you. That's how we're different.
Whoa. Wait a second now. All right? I have feelings. You've experienced my feelings.
Oh, I touched the nerve the other day. I loved it. Because a lot of times I've been saying stuff to you for a long time, and you're like, oh, I don't care. Of course. Yeah, I agree with that. And but the other day, I got your feathers ruffled.
Yeah, hit the nerve.
I like that.
Oof.
I was thinking about that today. Like, I always like to mess with people. Not just you. It's not you specifically. I like to just to get under somebody's skin just a little bit, just to tease. I like to tease that way too. But you, I can never get in there. I don't know what your weakness is. But now I'm starting to figure them out. And when I do say certain ones, you're like, you got to cut that out.
What were the other ones?
No. Don't bait me into this. I don't want to have to do more editing.
But you said you figured them out, which implies more than one. I can only recall one. The one that we were talking about the other day.
What was it?
With Bones.
I don't remember now. I just remember I touched the nerve.
God.
I can't remember what it was, though. I'm not going to harp on it. I just in that moment.
You can harp on it in private or in school.
Fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you do want to come down to school, Core BJJ.
Stanhope, New Jersey.
That's right on the border.
Well, it's in Byram, but Byram doesn't have a zip code. If you're looking for it, you have to type in
Right, so
Stanhope.
your house
This house is not in Byram. It's in Byram.
That's what
but
I'm
it's
saying.
not in Stanhope. This is using the Andover
I know,
zip
but when you
code.
type it on a Google, it comes as Byram.
It sometimes automatically changes it. Sometimes it does not.
You keep telling me to move out here.
How nice is it out here?
It's far. That's the only problem.
Far from what?
From what my life is. My life is back east.
You work 2 days a week.
Not right now.
Oh my gosh. How long have you been doing the job you're doing?
7 years.
And how many times have you worked 5 days a week?
A couple times a year, I have to work 5 times a week.
A couple times a year. So 3 times a year? 2 to 3 times a year you work 5 days a week.
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah, but now, if I ever do get my promotion, which still hasn't happened, I'll be doing overtime more, which means I'll be working more than 2 days a week, probably sometimes 3 days a week. It's a lot of days.
Then you'll just have to have a second place to stay down there.
I'm not moving out here.
Good for your
family.
family.
I think I'm going to live where I live forever and ever.
I like where you live.
Me too. Why don't you move closer to me?
Because I could now, actually.
You're never going to leave here.
No way. I love it here.
Great.
This is great. You know what's going to stink? When that's done.
I don't even know what you're pointing at.
I'll tell you after.
Cool. Let's talk about our next guest.
Who is our next guest?
Brian M.
Brian M. What's the M stand for?
McLaughlin.
Never heard of him.
He just coached Jim Miller in his fight. Fantastic fight. Did you watch it?
I did not watch it. I told you, I don't watch the UFC.
You are a loser.
Fine.
But Jim Miller unfortunately lost. But the fight, it was everything that MMA should be. On the ground, standing up. It was great. Perfect mix. A lot of jiu-jitsu, passing, taking the back. Jim Miller tried for a Peruvian necktie. Didn't work out.
Now, I have a question. I don't know if I heard this. If I did, it did not come from a reliable source. Or if I've invented this just because I know that Jim's getting a little older. Did he mention anything about retirement after that fight?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look into it afterwards. I just watched the fight. But what's awesome is there's no audience, so you can hear all the coaches. So you hear McLaughlin the whole time shouting out instructions. It's awesome.
That's great. And we've talked about, during McLaughlin's episode, what number was that?
Number 12. And he was the first one to really be in the no-gi camp. He was the opposite of Allen. He loves no-gi. He loves jiu-jitsu for MMA. That's how he kind of thinks about it, how he thinks the point system should be based on damage, like it used to be.
Damage in reality.
I love that.
Man, he really just put a whole new light on everything we were thinking. We had this system that we were thinking about, talking about constantly with points from this position or points from that position. After we talked to him, I don't think we brought up our point system again.
No, we did with other people. I'm trying to look at the list right now. We were talking about with Two Live Fools a little bit.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we did. You don't remember anything?
No,
you don't
we
really.
Didn't.
You don't listen to the podcast like I do.
I do listen to the podcast. I listen to the podcast more than you do. Yeah, we had 15 downloads last week. All 15 were me.
Well, the McLaughlin, it really changed the way I'm looking at it. That with Ryan Hall, now I'm starting to do a little more reality into my life, and judo is really an option I'm thinking about.
You know what I've been doing since talking to McLaughlin?
Yes.
When I pass one of my white belt's guards now, I just hold them inside mount crucifix.
I've been getting there too.
Just to make sure that I can do it.
How many points should it get?
Brian thinks that is the most lethal position in MMA.
It can't get 4 points. That's too many points.
Both arms trapped? He thinks it's the best position in MMA.
No, the back is best.
Not for MMA. I'm telling you what Brian said.
I'm asking you what you think. What do you think?
Ooh.
I think back is still best.
I don't know. I do like...
In real life, think about it this way. If you have somebody's back, you can elbow them in the back of the head, which is something you can't do in MMA.
But do I have their back on the ground?
Doesn't matter. What do you mean?
Do they have a weapon?
Standing? No. We're just talking about strictly fighting. We can't do point system based on weapons, too.
No, but I'm just thinking because side mount crucifix, if they have a weapon, they're not using it. You have both arms isolated. When you have the back, you don't have the arms isolated necessarily.
If you're doing it the right way, you do. We're not talking about weapons. I'm talking about
I'm just talking. Can we not talk? We don't want to talk now?
I hate where your mind's going. Pull it back to
I don't know, man. I really do like the side mount crucifix, both arms isolated, thinking of dropping elbows right on your face.
So if we're going to make our own point system, how many points should it get? It should not get the full 4 points.
No, I don't think it should get 4 points.
I think 2
just because fine. I feel, I think it should be 5.
You're so stupid.
3 points.
I want to add some 1 points. I think we should have a bunch of different spots where you get 1 point. I think you should just have a lot of ways to rack up points so that the match can be dynamic. And you can
now you sound like Naga. Naga's like, oh, that's an attempted submission, a point.
No. Come on, don't call me Naga. I hate those guys.
Ed Naga Wilson.
You don't think so? I think you sit, you pull guard, get 1 point. I think if you stall, the immediate thing, 1 point.
Instant. Yeah, no penalty. No stalling call, immediate point. I agree with that. That'd be great.
No warnings, because what's going to happen is guys at first are just going to be getting these 1 points, and they're going to be like, what? And then over time, they're going to start to be like, all right, I don't know how this guy's going to ref this, so I got to just keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Yeah, perfect.
So if there's more ways to get points, and you get, somebody gets a point because maybe it's a stalling call that's questionable, there's still way other ways to make up these points.
Now, where are we transitioning to right now? Are we transitioning full into points? Are we transitioning into making matches more exciting? Because if that's the direction we're going, I still say shorten the matches.
Shorten the matches. We've gotten that from a bunch of different people. Let's skip ahead.
Skip.
Let's skip Gary, because I want to talk about Dominica. That was one of the things that she said was shorten the matches would definitely make it better. Bones said that, shorten the matches.
Bones actually had great philosophies in don't complain, know the rule set.
I love that. Taking responsibility. You're going to sign up for a competition. Whatever they said, that's what you got to stick by. If you don't want to do it, there's plenty of other different types of competitions.
Don't complain. Oh, I didn't know the rules. That's another thing. How about you learn the rules for the competition that you're doing?
Yeah, it's not the competitor's job to make it exciting. It's their job to win. All right, so they shouldn't be, trying to make the rules to their favor.
But if there were more stalling calls and negative points for guard pulling, that would make the competitors be more exciting.
I don't think there should be any negative points. You just give the points to the other person. Just, it just simplifies
it's the same
the rule
thing.
system.
Yeah, but okay, fine.
I think backing up, standing, I think we start talking to, who are we talking to about judo? Oh, Civello, Chris, episode 17. I'm trying to remember all these. Episode 17, Chris was talking about the samurai black belt, having black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, having a black belt in judo. And he was, what was the type of tournament in the judo where you could do the wrestling and...
I don't know.
You could stay on the ground a little longer.
I don't know.
Go back and listen to episode 17. He says what type of judo it is. I think in jiu-jitsu, we should be trying to incentivize more judo, wrestling, give points.
Less guard pulls. Or,
no.
I don't have a problem with guard pulls.
Guard pulls are fine, but people get to back out of the mat. I think if you get pushed out, it should be like sumo rules. You get a point. You don't just win, but if you get pushed out of bounds, you get a point.
They had a competition like that in Florida.
How did it go?
To be honest, I don't really know. I know that Gary Tonin competed in it and DJ Jackson. I believe they had a match, and there were some instances of points being issued for out of bounds.
I think just standing. If you're already on the ground in positions and you kind of end up rolling out, that's different. But if you're standing up and you get pushed out of bounds, shame on you. You should be moving forward.
Well, a lot of the guys in the IBJJF, they will play or skirt the edge because they know
Leandro Lowe. I've watched many matches, and I love his jiu-jitsu, but he's just trying to win, and I don't fault him for it.
Skirting the edge.
The rules let him.
Let's fix the rules.
But you know what happened to him, though?
Tell me. He got old.
He got judo thrown, and his shoulder destroyed, lost. And then Buchecha closed out with him in the absolute finals, and he let him win.
I know. That was so nice of him.
What a nice guy.
Respecting his elders. When are you going to start respecting your elders, Ed?
You got to earn my respect.
Start respecting me.
If anybody wants respect from somebody else, you can't ask and beg for it like Dave does.
Please. Please respect me.
You have to earn it.
I've earned it.
No way.
Yes, with all the hard work that I put into this podcast,
you are a big
98.5%.
Big excuse maker. You do like
98.5% of the work from this podcast is from me.
You need to be more like Bones and just take responsibility.
I think I do pretty well at that.
No, in real life, you're good at that. For your school, yes. For this podcast, absolutely none. For your jiu-jitsu, bare minimum. Every time I give you some kind of critique, you're like, yeah, but. It's always a yeah, but. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Just say.
Because you know what I really want? Do you know what I wish if I found a magic genie lamp?
Go ahead.
I would wish that you could roll with you.
I wish that too.
I want you to feel what it's like to have you on top stalling.
Let me tell you what it would be like.
Tell me.
Right now. I wouldn't be stalling, first of all.
No? All of a sudden you wouldn't be stalling? Why? Why now would you not be stalling?
Wait, which way? On top or bottom?
It doesn't matter.
You think both of them would stall?
Yes.
No. This is what happened. I would sit. One of me would sit. The other one would just get on top, make a Toriando grip, trap the bottom leg, put all the pressure forward, and slowly crush the bottom sweaty daddy. And I would lose on bottom. For sure.
But then you would at least understand what it's like to be underneath you.
Yeah, but why are you going to make excuses? The guy on bottom's got to do better. I'm trying.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm trying to do better. But you're always like, but you gotta. I'm like,
yeah, but you have to make changes, adjust.
You understand? I need Yanni to guide me.
but I know some of the problems. You don't want to listen to them. There's something you don't respect
I
me.
do listen. Are you kidding me? I've listened to all of your pointers, and it has helped.
I was looking back through my text today because I was texting you for your address, and you weren't next to your phone. So I go all the way back 2 years to try to see if I could have found your address. So then I start reading through these texts, and it's you saying, "Oh, I'm starting to get good at defending reverse Del Hiva and stuff like that." And then the next couple weeks, you're like, "I forgot all the passes. I forgot all the passes."
I told
from
you
there."
that in
It's so
person
funny.
today.
Yeah, but no, that was 2 years ago. You're still having the same problems.
Well, no, I'm having them again now because we've been playing such
Come
different
on,
games.
move forward.
I can't.
You're going backwards.
I'm going backwards.
You go back, up and down, up
One
and down.
step forward, 2 step back, 2 steps back.
It's 2 steps forward, 3 steps back.
Whatever. Is it a song or something?
The Strokes.
Strokes? That's the name of the band?
The Strokes. You never
All
heard of the
right,
Strokes?
relax. No, I
Of course
don't
you've
know
heard of them.
music.
You've heard their songs.
Why do we? Maybe I've heard the songs, but I don't know who sings them. Give me a verse. Break it down. Come on.
Don't embarrass me.
Do it.
Copyright infringement.
I'll close my eyes. No, it's not copyright if you sing it.
I don't want to sing it.
Please. And that's
I'm
what
not
we'll name this episode.
I'm not doing it.
Come on, you just took a deep breath like you were about to. Take another sip of that liquid courage and break it down for me.
Let's move on. I have to build up towards it.
Oh, my God.
Let's talk about Gary. I've been going to see Gary a lot in these past couple weeks. Once a week for the past 3 weeks. I've been going to his gym. We've been laying out his little mats that he has. We've been doing exactly what I said I wanted to do. We do a little warm-up, like going upside down and some of the speed drills. And then we'll start in reverse Del Hiva because that's where I want to work. And then we pass from there. Then we talk. Then after we're done doing the workout, he'll sit and talk with me about our future stuff that we're trying to do, the YouTube.
And that's when you said we are going to fail.
No, I was just joking around with you. It
hurt my feelings, though.
I know. That's what hurt your feelings?
That hurt my feelings. The other things embarrassed me. That hurt my feelings.
What do you think failing is? In your mind, what would be a failure?
I think that if our numbers went backwards, that would be a bit of a failure.
You know what? I'm actually getting past that. The first 5 weeks, every 10 minutes, I'm looking at the number, looking at the numbers. Recently,
I showed up at your house today. You told me you just looked at the numbers.
no, I said I haven't looked at them in a few hours. I only check them I only check them like 10 times a day now.
Oh.
Back when we started, I was 100,000 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
But now the numbers don't really mean anything to me. A failure to me is if we miss a Monday.
We're never going to miss a Monday.
Then we're a success.
Yeah, we're never going to. I told you that's my fear. I fear we will miss a Monday.
No. Not only did you say you fear it, you're expecting it to happen.
Yes.
I hate that. Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why would we miss? If you just said we're never going to miss, how is that
if
even?
I said we're never going to miss, we would definitely miss. I'm using a little bit of reverse psychology on you to make sure.
On me or on yourself?
On you. What do I have to do? I could call you and we could do a podcast over the phone.
I want to do it right here every time.
I'll come to you.
The problem is my daughters are still young and stuff. We should come, I should come over one day,
and just unleash them.
Yeah, let the girls hang out with your family and then we just do this.
You know what else we could do? We could always put your girls in the chicken coop and close the door.
How many chickens do you have?
Too many chickens. I told the wife yesterday, I said, listen, since we've added the last bunch, I do not enjoy
you
the
added
chickens.
More?
Well, we had them the whole time, but they were small. So they were in the garage in a thing,
Right.
And I had the bigger ones that were outside. So once the little ones grew big enough to where they could be added to the coop, since then I have not enjoyed the chickens.
What's the number? How many?
16.
Wow. Are they producing?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been getting 8 to 9 eggs a day.
I know you were going out there and getting the raw milk and stuff. You're still doing that?
We do, yes.
I saw you had regular milk in there too.
No, that's not regular.
Oh, it's raw?
That's the raw milk.
Cool.
You should try it. Did you try it?
I didn't try
Do
it.
you like milk? I don't remember.
I love milk.
Oh, my gosh. After this, we're going to go inside and we're going to have a little dessert. We're going to have cookies and milk.
You got any chocolate syrup?
I do have I think I do. My daughter's crazy.
What do you like better? You like chocolate syrup or the powder?
Syrup, but I do not drink milk.
Right. What do you do with the syrup? Put it on ice cream? You're not a big ice cream guy
if
either.
I drink chocolate milk, I prefer making chocolate milk with syrup. I do not drink it often.
I used to have the powder and just eat the powder straight with a spoon.
Could you even breathe after that? Wait, I
When I
feel
was a
like
kid.
you've done this recently, though. Didn't you take like a big bite of something powdery and choke on it when we were together?
I can't remember now.
I think you have. I wish I knew what it was. I wish I could remember right now.
We don't hang out enough.
We're busy. We hang
You're
out.
busy.
Yes, I'm busy.
I'm busy too. This is a couple weeks, but After this
Yeah,
is
but
over,
your normal schedule, you are not busy. Then it's all me. Can we do this? I got this. I got that. I got that. What about here? And now Emmett has started his soccer again. Zenaida just tried out for a soccer team. They're going to be on 2 different traveling teams.
Oh.
In addition to my regular job, my wife's regular job, and the school. Good luck.
Can you just quit the job?
And I would love to. That's still a goal. COVID has really screwed that goal up, but it's still a goal. I'm not taking that down off of my vision board.
I'm getting nervous about that. When my daughters get older, I'll have no control over what they like. You know, they won't be like me and just like one thing. They're going to like doing all these different activities and try them out. I'm going to make my wife take care of all that.
But you have 2 that are different ages. They're going to be in different things at different times. You're going to have to start participating.
I'm hoping gymnastics. I hope they go to the same school, so I just bring them to one place. They're not traveling around. Soccer, I'm going to very strongly discourage that.
Why?
Because I don't like soccer.
What do you like? Don't say it. It's the most disgusting sport that there is.
No, they're not playing softball or baseball either.
Oh, thank goodness.
They're going to play jiu-jitsu.
I like it. When will you start taking a page out of our good friend Kemmel's book, episode...
he was 17.
He was 17.
Oh,
Savella was 16.
If you guys want to listen to Chris Ivello talk about samurai black belts, it's episode 16. I deeply apologize. Kemmel, one of the great things about this podcast that I didn't expect when we started it was how much my perspective would change.
I almost just spit my coffee all over Ed's face.
He literally changed it. I was set in my mind, even when we talked to Emily about when my daughters were going to start training, how I was nervous about them. It was very like shallow reasons, you know. As soon as he started explaining how you need to let them just kind of figure it out, put them around it, and they'll figure out themselves that they like it. You don't have to force that anything. So he opened my mind up to it, and now I'm going to bring my oldest daughter, Lil, to Jiu-Jitsu 2021.
So I am curious of what you think of this. Do you think that all of these people that we talk to, mostly black belts that we're talking to, or in Gary's case, black belt in business and in life, do you think that they have this mindset ahead of time, or do you think that the jiu-jitsu helps get them to this mindset?
I would say that the jiu-jitsu greatly supplements their way of living. Gary was like this before jiu-jitsu. He was a white belt when we started training together, and he was already on the path. I think jiu-jitsu kind of enhances it and kind of focuses in on it. I joke with you about excuses and stuff, but when it comes down to work or getting things done, you do it. I mean, I feel like you probably did it before jiu-jitsu, no?
I honestly don't remember. I can't remember things before jiu-jitsu.
I don't know what changed it on me because before we met
podcast.
Well, no, before even that, before jiu-jitsu, I was a teenager, you know, very big in procrastinating. That's why I was a white belt for 3 years. So I didn't pick it up until blue belt. So it took me 3 years of jiu-jitsu to start to figure it out. But then even then, I still procrastinate greatly in jiu-jitsu.
The only thing that you do not procrastinate on since I've known you is the podcast. The podcast has also motivated you to stop procrastinating so much with your jiu-jitsu. You've trained more since this podcast than ever before.
But I'll still credit that to jiu-jitsu in general, because if it wasn't interesting, what are we going to talk about here? If these people weren't interesting, there's no point to this.
Well, I hear from plenty of people that it's not interesting. But you know what I say to them, don't you?
Don't say that they say it's not interesting.
They say it, and I say they're wrong.
All right, don't say that.
I just did.
Yeah, but you can't control what imbeciles think. Just let them think what they want.
I don't think you should call them imbeciles.
If they think what we're talking about,
I can give you one name specifically.
I don't care
but
about
I won't.
the names. It's probably a he, and I probably hate him already.
It's probably a she. She might live in the house that I live in. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't say stuff like that.
That was just funny. But let's get back to this list real quick here. Let's talk more about Gary, could we please?
I would love to. Go ahead. I already was explaining that I'm still talking to him. I see him once a week. I'm going to see him tomorrow. I'm going to do a little training. He's going to give me a little help. He actually has some videos to show me. I love him. He just always loves to help me. I don't know why.
So my thing with Gary is I've really been enjoying his podcast lately. I feel that each episode gets better and better. Have you been listening?
Unfortunately, I have not. I'm so sorry, Gary.
Gary, I love your podcast. I hope that Ed tells you this when he sees you tomorrow, because I know you're too busy to listen to every episode of ours.
Exactly. We're both busy. We're not expecting each other to listen to every one.
That's fine. But
let's talk about podcasts, actually, because I've been talking to different people about podcasts when they ask me, they find out I have a podcast, I tell them whatever. I like to ask them, what are they listening to? How many do they listen to? Everybody has a different way of listening to podcasts. How many? What kind? Like, what are you currently listening to?
Currently, I listen to the Death podcast.
Exclusively?
No, I also listen to Joe Rogan. I'm going to open up my phone right now, and I'm going to tell you exactly.
That's it, baby. Read them out.
I'm going to read them out.
I
might omit some.
Okay.
But I'm going to go to my library, and I'm going to tell you what's in my library.
I update my...
I
don't like to have too many at once, so I delete some, and then maybe I'll go
Joe
back to...
Rogan Experience.
I think that's... most people have that one.
Okay. I also have the Grappling Central podcast.
Have you been listening? Do you listen to every episode of that?
No, I have not listened in a while, actually. I have my reasons for that I don't want to get into right now.
I actually signed up for their Patreon to go back and listen to McLaughlin's before we did his. It was a nice, useful interview because, I don't like to repeat too much stuff that's already been said because even if people haven't listened to Grappling Central and they haven't listened to that one, Brian's already talked about it, So when you talk...
the ability to listen to it is there.
Yeah, but when you talk to these guys, I don't like to repeat myself too much. That's why we rag on each other for making the same jokes over and over. I want to have new stuff to stimulate people, new ideas. Like, that's when we talked to Kemmel, I had a new idea about my daughters. I changed it because of the conversation I had with him. And hopefully, when people listen to our podcast, they might see things a little differently, and it might change their way that they train, change the way that they look at it. That's what the goal is.
Would you like me to continue?
Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I like listening. So, I have the Ben Greenfield Fitness podcast.
Who's Ben Greenfield? I never even heard of that.
He is what does he call himself? A biohacker. Biohacker? Yes, he's trying to do everything that he can to optimize his health and performance. And he talks about it all on his podcast. He covers all kinds of things, diets, supplements, all kinds of different things. I don't listen to every episode on any of these. I bounce around podcast. Well,
give me an example of how he's improved your life. What have you taken from him and used? Do you take any supplements because of him or change your lifestyle?
I have, actually. I try and eat healthier. I try and take in some of the things that he says. I've made lists based on his podcast.
Do you eat cheesesteak pizzas because of him?
He is the one that turned me on to the cheesesteak pizza, actually.
With the jalapenos.
Don't forget the jalapenos. That's what makes it a diet food, because it just runs right through you. It doesn't have any time to sit and add weight to you. All right? So I have turned back to, and not proud of it, but I have listened to the Jocko podcast again.
Jocko, really?
But yes, because it turned me on to another one, which I don't know if I subscribed to it.
You didn't?
I didn't. But he has a podcast that's strictly about jiu-jitsu.
He does.
That's the one that I listen to, but apparently I only listen to a certain episode.
I haven't listened to Jocko in a couple months, actually. I've been just sticking with comedy only because I want to be fun. I want to learn how to be fun.
Now, funny you bring that up. I have a bunch of jiu-jitsu podcasts in here, but just like the Grappling Central podcast, I do not listen to every single one. I've been bouncing around podcasts more and more lately, and because of your recommendation, I've been listening to Two Bears, One Cave.
Oh, I love that one. You know what the problem I have with that is, though?
Please tell me.
They're starting to get so big that they're really just killing you with these mid-roll reads, like 4 an episode.
Yeah,
I don't like when they break it up. That's why you got to respect Rogan, because he never will ever do a mid-roll read. If once he's in the interview, that's it. We're not getting out of it. I hate the breaking it up. The commercials on YouTube have been getting ridiculous. I am so close.
Oh my gosh, what the heck is that?
They are really trying to get you to just pay for the premium, and maybe we should,
Yeah, but I haven't been on YouTube in quite some time, and the other day I logged on to YouTube to do a little bit of research for a purchase that I was thinking about for a new gi, and every episode had now 2 commercials before you could watch the show.
Oh, you haven't watched long form. How long was it? Like, if you're Two Bears, One Cave is a prominent show. They get 1 million downloads pretty much per episode. They're doing 4 in theirs of just the mid-roll reads, and then just commercials on top of that. It seems like every 5 minutes there's something coming up.
I was watching. It was 2 commercials before the thing started, and then a few minutes in, it had another commercial. I might as well just get cable.
I know. I'm sick of it.
So I think we've talked about enough about my list. Real Talk with G, that is on my list.
2 Live Fools?
2 Live. Well, I'm on my what is this? The Apple Podcasts. And
I think I'm gonna go to full Spotify once Rogan's on there. I think September he's starting there, and then January is going to be exclusive to Spotify.
I don't like Spotify's platform as much, I have to say.
Well, I don't have Apple, so I can't have Apple Podcasts.
There you go. Then you don't even know how good it is to have this. All right. But the last one that I would like to mention, never mind. I'm not going to mention them.
All right. I'll mention a couple of mine.
Go ahead. Please do.
Joe Rogan's number one.
Number one.
The Tasteless podcast.
Tasteless?
He's a StarCraft
commentator.
commentator.
My God. You've told me about this before.
I love him.
I don't even know what StarCraft is. Continue.
It's a video game.
Whatever. Continue.
Your Mom's House.
No, your mom's house. Don't talk to me like that.
Two Bears, One Cave, obviously. The Church, which is ending.
The church of which is collapsing now.
Which is collapsing now. He moved back to Jersey. Bertcast, Jocko, Bill Burr's Monday Morning Podcast. What else? The Matt Burn. They don't. This is one of the things that riles me up. I love listening to them talk, but they come out, once a month. 1 month ago they did one. The Grappling Central. They keep it consistent. That's why I want to be like them. Very consistent.
Yes.
That's what we're giving you here. Expectations. Go back to that. I want you to expect a podcast a week, and I want to deliver on that. The problem that people have in regular life is they set their expectations maybe not even too high, but they just set them in a spot where it's just not going to happen, and then they get upset about it. So you expect me to come to jiu-jitsu at your school 4 times a week, and then when I only came once this week, you get very upset with me.
I don't expect 4 times a week.
What do you expect?
I don't actually expect anything, but I love for you to come as often as you can.
You got to admit, this year has been my best year at core.
It might be your best year of jiu-jitsu.
Since we've been training together, for sure. My best year of jiu-jitsu.
How crazy is that? We were closed for 4 months. This is your best year training of jiu-jitsu ever.
Definitely embarrassing to an extent, but
wow.
I am changing. Got to give it to me.
You are changing.
Give it to me.
For the better, because of the podcast. So what other motivations do you have to better yourself, Ed?
Motivations to better myself. My daughters, for sure. I want to be better for them because kids, they're always paying attention to what you're doing.
They sure are.
If you're doing the wrong things, you can't be mad at them when they start copying you. So it's just do the right things, right? That's pretty simple.
Very simple.
But it is hard to over and over
Actions speak louder than words, right?
That's true. That's why I don't speak that much. That's when people still tell me. They're like, this is the most I heard you talk this year. I'm changing.
You've been talking a lot at core lately.
Yeah.
And you're getting more comfortable teaching.
A little.
Remarkable.
What were we teaching the other day?
Backstep half guard.
Yeah, I wasn't too confident on it because I
used it.
You did?
Yes. 3 times now.
Great. I haven't used it yet.
Yep.
Backstep and half guard. That's one of the things that people don't do that much.
Well, that's because for a while we would do the hook thing.
Yeah.
That knee pinch.
I was talking to Yanni about that race, and he said, yeah, it's kind of 50-50 there. Like you could lose there or you could win there. It's a timing move.
So that it has nothing to do with the direction you're making your partner's knees point. It's still based on timing.
No, it does, but it's still timing because they need to make the hook before their knees are straight up in the air. If you get their knees straight up and then they're starting to, I think it's too late by then.
Now, this will be much better, once again, when we are video.
How involved is Yanni going to be in this process?
In video? No, I just meant when the podcast is video. Maybe we could put in the little corner a video.
Oh, a link to the video? Or the video itself?
Whatever, either one.
Oh, we could do
something that will help people to understand what the heck we're talking about right now.
Yeah, I've had people mention, like, yeah, you guys should do video. You're right. It's a lot more work.
But that video is coming.
Yeah, right now we're very mobile. How many different places have we taken this thing?
Taking it on the road.
Yeah, we take it to different schools. We've done it at my house, your house. It's great. But cameras add a different thing where you have to have kind of a stable area where you kind of leave them. Setting it up and breaking it down, it takes a lot of work.
Let's take a look at your chicken scratch. That's definitely another thing you can work on improving.
I just like to write really fast, so...
Half of Dominica's list is erased.
Dominica was a gi person. She loved the gi.
I know, but what the heck does that say?
I don't know. Who cares? Listen, actually, now that we're on the topic of Dominica... Her episode was the most fun to do. I'm not trying to disparage anybody else, but somebody's got to be the best, and that one was the most fun. For sure, go back and listen to that one. Episode 14. Is that right?
I don't think so. I think it's 13. No, Gary's 13.
There you go. Don't question me, loser.
Episode 14 with Dominica.
Obelanite.
Woo!
There you
She
go.
would be so proud of you right now. So, for some reason, I feel that her episode should have more views. What do you think?
Absolutely. I feel like everybody is sexist.
Do you think that's what it is?
No.
People aren't listening because she's a woman?
I don't know why. I can't understand these numbers.
I was wondering actually if maybe because she's doing a lot of podcasts, if she's getting less views because you can hear her anywhere.
I don't think so. We would love feedback.
You could send feedback. Email to thedeathpodcast@gmail.com or on all of our social media. We respond to your messages at To The Death Podcast.
Mostly Dave responds to them. I see them too late. I don't know why. I just don't look for them.
Fine. It's fine.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't care.
Are you mad at me?
Not at all. No, Ed. In fact, I'm impressed with you.
What about
How about
me?
that?
What about me?
I'm impressed with the hard work that you put into this podcast.
I do work hard.
When we talk to our guests, it's not easy to sit and talk and be comfortable, speak loud, and keep this mic in your face.
For the guests, yeah.
For the guests. But we've been doing it for a while, so we keep
You know how many hours we've done so far on this?
No.
Probably close to 30 hours recorded.
It's gotta be more than that.
More than that, but it's 30 hours after editing. Before editing, 50 hours.
So if there's 50 hours that we've recorded and you edit for roughly 6 hours per hour.
Per hour? Per
probably,
episode?
Yeah, but our episodes are roughly an hour.
Yeah.
So if you're editing for 6 hours per hour and we have 50 hours recorded.
I've done a lot of hours editing, yes. I've been getting better at it, for sure.
I'm impressed with the skill that you bring to the table here because, again, what I was saying, not everyone holds this mic by your face. Not everyone is confident enough to, speak loud enough, or they're quiet. They're afraid to say certain things. And between talking to them, getting them to say some things that maybe they're not comfortable with, and then speaking low or turning their head, keeping the microphone away from their face. Man, you do some magic on the editing board. Is it a board? Whatever it's called. You work some magic, and I want to commend you right now. I just want... We need a clap button.
We do have a clap button.
We have a clap button?
I don't remember which one it is. I don't want to start pressing these. No! God damn. Oh my God. Stop. I hate that.
If he erases that, I just hit every button on the board. And all I did, as much fun as it was for me, and Ed did laugh, all it did was create more work for him, which I'm sorry about. But it was worth it for that laugh.
That's very nice of you to say all those things. But we still do need to get better, because when I start to get flustered, I get way less fun. I have less fun because I'm just focused now on the expectations I have for the interview aren't going the way I want. So now I just get in my own head and I'm not as funny.
Now, are you speaking specifically about when someone enters the room that maybe wasn't involved in the conversation originally?
Oh, that kills me.
I love it.
Kills me.
But you are getting better. That's it?
I was waiting for you to say one more thing.
What? You are getting better?
I'm getting better. We have to get
What else can I say? You are getting better, and I expect you will continue to get better as we go.
You know what people have said to me that don't know you, that know me, for a long time. They say, I actually like that guy Dave.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I wasn't expecting. They have their expectations set real low for what they think this was going to be, and then they hear you. They're like, wow.
Now, do tell. Come on, my head's getting big right now.
It's your voice.
That's the only thing?
No, but it's the way that you speak. It's very professional.
I've actually noticed the more that I speak, the more that I notice I pause instead of saying, like, I'm trying to reduce the pausing.
I reduce it for you.
reduce it and make me sound much better than I actually am.
I reduce it for myself too.
But I think that I'm still improving on my own every day.
Si, senor.
Si, senor.
You've been using a lot of Spanish lately.
I said one thing. Episode 18.
No, you said other stuff too.
Ocho.
You're great at Spanish.
We were driving today, and the kids had soccer practice, and we had to pick up another kid for soccer, and this kid only speaks Spanish in the house. His parents like for him to speak Spanish in the house so that he gets good at it, and my son was asking, well, why, if you already know it? And he said there's some words still that have two meanings, just like in English, like there, they are, whatever.
Right.
There's this thing I came fast. Okay, so I started asking him about words, and one of the words was porque, because
why?
it's because and
yeah.
why.
I know that.
Right? But I was saying it the same way that you would say pero, which is but, or if you roll the R, which I'm not going to do now because I was made fun of in the car.
Pero.
One is but and one is dog.
Yes.
I can't remember because they were picking on me so bad. But I was doing it with porque. So I was rolling the R for porque, thinking that was So maybe my wife actually said to me to stop speaking Spanish.
Does your wife speak Spanish to your kids often?
Never.
Oh, so they don't speak Spanish?
No.
My kids don't either. They could have.
Does your wife speak Spanish?
She doesn't. She understands it because she
But
grew up
doesn't
with
speak
it. No, she doesn't speak it.
I pick on my wife about this because I can't teach them Spanish. It is on her if it's going to be done. Do you pick on your wife about it?
No. It's a lot of work.
Sure.
She would have to really learn how to speak it. That's why it's great that kid's doing that. You have to speak it to keep it. You got to keep it fresh.
He's totally fluent in Spanish.
I know, but
in English.
But if they stopped, it would go away slowly.
That's not sure it would go away.
Yes, to an extent, yes. Just like jiu-jitsu, like it wouldn't go away completely ever. But say you took 4 years off, how do you think you'd be doing against my over-under passes 4 years from now? Even if I didn't get any better. That's what I'm saying. So language is just like jiu-jitsu. Got to practice.
Language is just like jiu-jitsu. What language do you speak the best at? Jiu-jitsu, English, or the language of love?
Say English.
I love the honesty. Let's get back to this list here before we veer too far off. I mean, there is no track. For all of you that are listening and you think that we bounce topics too much, this is a conversation. I would like to sit in the room when you have a conversation with somebody and see if it just goes straight down a path and you never veer and you never turn. It's just beginning, middle, end.
Actually, I would like to talk about this.
Please.
When we first started this, very unsure. I'm still unsure to an extent about this whole podcasting thing, but I was taking in a lot of information about critiques, what's going well, and then the more I think about it, the more time we put into this. We just explained how many hours that we've spent doing this. Hundreds.
I think by my math, that was 30,000 hours you did.
Yeah, probably 40,000 if you think about it.
No,
but and I'm thinking like, what do they know that I don't know? They're not sitting here doing this over and over again. So, yes, feedback is something, but it's not everything. You can't take too much of that in because they're not sitting down and doing the hard work, and they might not have thought of things that you've come upon just while doing it. Same thing with jiu-jitsu. When people are going to critique my over-under, I don't think you realize how many hours I've actually spent in over-under. So it happens when we teach sometimes. You'll point it out to me after I've taught a move, like I'm doing a thing that I'm not mentioning.
Right.
And that's very good for you to do because then the people won't get it the same way that I get it because I'm actually not even saying what's going on. So people that critique this podcast and how we're having a conversation, they don't have the full experience of what's going on. And if they did have it, then maybe they'd change their tune a little bit. So I'm letting the judgments stay where they are, and I'll figure it out. Just listen. It's going to be fine.
Listen, people, feedback to the death podcast at gmail.com. You can specifically mention Ed's name if you would like to put him down, or tell them to start listening to you more, because maybe you do have something that we can learn. I'm not totally against learning from someone else.
Is that what I said?
I feel like you did, yeah.
I didn't.
No?
I am willing to learn. Listen.
I'm going to go back and listen. No, just put it out.
Fine.
I'll listen.
It's fine.
And I'll use my own perspective.
Let me frame it in a different way.
Frame it.
Now, let's say that I'm a brown belt.
You are.
I am. And there's a white belt.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And they know move, and I know the same move. And they're doing it, and I'm watching them. And then they watch me do the move, and they say, well, this is how I do it. I can take that knowledge, and maybe it could be right. I'll listen. But then maybe I'll explain my point about it, and maybe we can kind of prove what it is. Now, I'm not going to sit here and do that with a podcast. It doesn't make sense. But now, say somebody has been podcasting for years and years, and now they're going to give me a piece of feedback. Say I'm the white belt, which we are still white belts in podcasting.
Absolutely.
I would love to take that kind of feedback. Is much more important to me than somebody that's never podcasted. So that's what I'm saying. The people that are giving us feedback don't podcast. So, yeah, it could be useful. They could be right, but I'm not sure. I would rather have it from experts. So if you have feedback, I will read the expert feedback. Dave could sift through the hobbledy-gobbledy from these losers.
And I'm happy to do so. Please email to the deathpodcast at gmail.com. Put in the subject line, Ed.
That could be anything.
I'm going to read it anyway.
All right, cool. What do you think about what I just said? You don't agree with that?
No, that was very well put.
Thank you.
Very well
I feel like we should
put.
end on a high note, but what else do you got on there?
Well, you can just cut that and put it at the end and make it a high note.
I'm not doing that.
So,
look, this is the pause. You could be umming and ahhing right here. Like.
no,
people
I'm reading. Hang
there's
on.
some people that do the like a lot. Like,
Yes.
like that stuff drives me crazy sometimes.
Did we mention the gi reviews at all?
Oh, we had a big disagreement, so we'll go back to the disagreement area about how to shoot the video, what kind of microphones to use. I don't want to buy more equipment. Dave is...
I'm going to buy the equipment.
He wants to buy all the equipment, do everything.
What? One microphone. We're going to get one pointy mic.
Pointy mic.
Please tell me the kind it is. What's it called? Boom, right?
A boom mic.
Yeah, pointy boom.
Well, we do want to start doing these gear reviews. We don't want to have the microphones on camera. We want to have both hands available because for some reason Dave needs both of his hands to do a gear review.
If we're doing a gear review and we're trying the gear on, we're pointing things out, it would be nice if we had our hands to use to move the gear around, to pick it up, to point, to put it on, to make grips, to something. I can't hold the microphone. I'm going to put the microphone down. I'm going to pick the microphone up. No, just get a pointy mic.
Okay.
Technical terms,
but
pointy.
What is more important to you, the gear reviews or the technique videos that we would like to do?
Oh, and for the technique videos, are you going to be picking up the microphone?
Absolutely not.
I know, we already talked about this. But that's not... Is that what we're going to do for the gear review, too?
No, the gear review is going to be
Because we could do that.
We could do that, but that seems kind of weird, doesn't it?
Wow, but we could do that.
We do it like a 1910 video where we just mime everything and then we talk over the miming that we're doing with the gees.
Yeah, you're right. That would be weird.
It would be weird.
That would be weird. But it is an option. Like an old kung fu movie. Where our mouths don't match.
No, I think you're right about the boom mic. But for the instructionals, I would like to do post audio because it just changes it up. It's a little different.
We can do that immediately. We should be doing that already.
I know.
Well, why don't you show up tomorrow before class and we'll shoot a couple of videos.
That I'm not coming
I know.
tomorrow.
That's why I said it.
I'm going to see Gary in the morning, but I got a bunch of stuff to do.
And he's not training again. So how many days did you train this week?
Monday, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I forgot about Monday. I thought it was only one, so you're better than I thought.
Yeah, twice as good.
Oh, it actually has conversations. Oh,
what is it? Spit it out.
All right, so we just spoke about the gear reviews and the instructionals. How about your diet and your weight?
The diet has not changed. I had a nice drumstick today. I've been eating a lot of food lately, pizzas, Chinese food, all of it. But I've been training a lot. Not this week. Last week I trained a bunch of days, at least 5. And I've been 206, just consistent.
Really? 206? That's still improvement, though.
No, I've been 206 for 4 weeks.
Fine. You were, when your dad was here, 215 or 220 or something.
213. I was.
So that's 7 pounds. Congratulations.
Thanks. But I need to get under. I need to get to 190. I'll feel so much better. My jiu-jitsu will be better. I won't get as tired as I get. I get tired every day, every round, gasping.
I enjoy that part.
Why? You're not going to get better if I gasp for air.
Because I just like to see you suffer a little bit.
Why? Because you hate me.
No, because there's something good that comes with suffering and pushing through.
I don't push through, though. I quit. I stall.
That's why you haven't trained. Because you're actually quitting.
No. That's not why. I'm busy. I had stuff to do. I had the overtime. I didn't want to work out that day.
Do you need another one of those drinks, Ed? Would you like
No.
me to go
I got to drive home.
All right, I'm just checking. Did I tell you that Peter Pan passed my guard the other day?
What was it, a knee cut?
No, it was me not paying attention. He passed my guard.
He just snuck by. That's
yeah,
not
I don't even know what happened. But no, he had me in side mount, and I went, uh-oh.
Yeah, but that's not a real pass. I want to see him do a bunch of steps in a row right. If you just sneak by somebody, that can't work over and over again. That's why I love an over-under pass, because you know what's happening.
You know, my favorite part of jiu-jitsu is when you know what's happening and can't stop it. Those are the things that I like the most.
Me too. I love that.
You could be sneaky and catch me with stuff. My favorite is to do a move that you know I'm doing and still can't stop it.
You don't have any of those for me.
Yeah, I can make you over under me. I can make you half guard sweep me. I can make you over under me. You know it's
You're
coming.
trying to reverse psychology me. I am going to do it for you. I want to start standing again. Yanni was showing me the step through that he does.
Is that like where if you screw up, you wind up in 50-50? That kind of step through?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He doesn't ever end up at 50-50, though.
No, well, he's using the Mendez brothers
I know. He
details.
He was showing a couple details of it. What happens is he'll watch these good guys and then he puts a little tiny, like very tiny spin on it. That makes it his own. That's why I love jiu-jitsu. You really just make it yours.
Do you feel that, I mean, I think we've probably mentioned it before, but you just gave Yanni yet another compliment. Did it mean something when Bones was doing it? Did it sink? It felt good to you, right?
It felt fantastic.
Because this is your grandmaster sensei.
I think this is one of the problems when you have one person telling you something about anything. You got to hear from multiple angles because everybody has a different perspective on it.
Oh my God.
But
this word.
Listen.
What about their repertoire?
Yanni has an unlimited
Is it
repertoire.
robust?
Oh, yeah. His technique knowledge is very robust.
Am I the yin to his yang?
You are definitely not, and neither am I. I don't think there is anybody that's
we're the opposite.
You know, I was talking to my buddy recently about yin and yang. I feel like it's been coming up more and more in my life. And
that's good.
We were talking about student and teacher, right? For you personally, you should be equal, like a yin and yang. You need to be equal parts student, equal parts teacher to truly grow in anything in life, but especially jiu-jitsu. And Yanni is unbelievable student. He's always looking for the new, the next, something different. Tighten. Everything's pristine technique. And we need to be more like that. That's why you have the school. It's for sure has helped your jiu-jitsu immensely compared to when you didn't have a school.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I think people, even white belts, should be aspiring to learn the technique, but then be able to show it to somebody else. Because as you train, there's immediately going to be people that have trained less time than you that you could show things that you've had problems with, and it will help you get better even faster. If you're only training 4 times a week because you're not a professional, you got a full-time job and a family, if you can only train 4 times, to maximize it is to help teach and to help learn from your teachers.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do exactly what I've always disliked from traditional martial arts in my experience, and I'm going to let the highest ranking student that shows up to class teach.
Ooh, put him on the spot, or are you going to give him some...
No, I'm going to leave.
You can't leave.
I'm just going to let them do what they want.
So when I went to see Yanni the other day after class, we were talking, and one of the things I was asking is if I could start teaching the day classes again, because he started doing day classes in 2012 at my request. He let me teach them, and I was a 4-stripe blue belt, and I feel like that's when things were really starting to take off for me. That's when I was starting to run my own classes, doing drills.
But that's also when you were training the most consistent.
Yeah, so if I have a little more responsibility jiu-jitsu-wise that way, he's going to still be there and oversee what I'm doing. It's going to be very stressful to start, but it's really going to help my teaching and my learning as well, because I'll know the move way better.
So can I tell you now, I don't think you should let that stress you out, because you're going to teach, and he's not going to grab you in front of the entire class and say, that was good, but this. He's going to let you teach. He's going to let everybody break off into groups, and when no one's looking, if there was something that he didn't like or something that could be improved on the technique that you just showed, he's going to show you on the side so that now you can show it better the next time. But he's not going to put you on the spot. He's not going to make you feel bad about, maybe he'll make you feel bad about yourself, but he's not going to do it in front of everyone.
When he was showing me that reverse half guard pass, he was asking me to take his back from there on bottom, and I just wasn't doing it right because I never do it there, and I felt really embarrassed that I couldn't give him the energy that he was looking for. I hate that as an uki doing that. You understand what I'm saying?
That's why our seminar tour is going to be fantastic.
No, but we're not going to be. I want to be sharp.
I'm the perfect
and tight.
uki.
No, but we're gonna. What do you mean? We're going to switch and do different.
I know,
parts
but for your portion, I know exactly
my
what
portion.
you want.
Have
done.
you thought this out already? How it's going to be structured?
I didn't show you.
No.
Oh yeah, I have like a script.
I wish you would.
Half comedy, half jiu-jitsu.
Half comedy? You're not writing comedy scripts.
It's not comedy. It's us. People love us when we're together.
They like us moderately.
Acceptable. It's acceptable. No one can believe that this is how we are in person. We argue the same exact way in person.
Nobody's not believing it.
There were people that are like, oh my God, you're the same way in person. Yes, this is us. We've actually been quite agreeable today.
We've done some disagreements.
I don't think we have.
I would have cut out all the agreements.
So, how about the last note that I want to talk about? Because I want to know if you still think that the things we talk about off the podcast with our guests are just as interesting and entertaining as the very first time we had a guest.
They are at least as interesting. I'm not going to say more. They're about the same. But they're different. It's a different kind of conversation. And I think the reason that they're so amazing is because we have them after, obviously. And we've already talked for an hour or two. and we've built sort of a connection. These are small connections that we're making. So now they trust us, and they'll tell us things that they might not tell us if they just first met us. And they can't be shared, obviously, because there's always got to be things that can't be completely public. You know how
Yes.
things get misconstrued, out of context. We're trying to build positivity. And obviously, in real life, everything can't be positive. So I edit this, not just the ums and ahs and pauses. I got to edit it to sound a certain way. And you could take that wrong and maybe say that we're painting a picture that's not completely true. I like to think of it as more learning and just giggling. It's a learn and giggle, because if you focus too much on the seriousness, I think it could take you off to the wrong path.
Agreed. No, disagreed.
Just add to it. If you agree,
I do agree, but I find it very interesting that some of the conversations that we're having after the podcast, after people are loosened up and they know we're not recording anymore, and we're not going to ruin anyone's trust by speaking about something that was spoken about after the podcast, I find it very interesting that there are a lot of common themes, a lot of things repeating themselves. How do you feel about that?
I agree. I also think on the podcast, it's the same thing. You have to have a certain mindset to get
where they are,
which they're all successful, even if it's not money. It's
wait a second.
You didn't
was
hear
that your phone?
Nobody could hear that. It was a buzz.
I don't care. It went off.
Shut up. I don't put my phone. Look there, it's on there. So, come on, why you got to point out that?
Because you always do it to me. Why can't I do it to you? Why can't I yell at you the one freaking time your phone goes off? And you're going to erase all of this because it makes you look bad.
You love trying to make me look bad. Why?
No, I like when we try and make each other look bad.
You know, I want to tell you before, when we fell in love was...
This is why we need video, because you needed to see my face when those words came out of your mouth. I threw up in my mouth a little bit, and I was in total shock. Continue.
When you used to teach your fundamentals class, I used to go, and I would see your technique, and if I saw something that could be added or something I did a little different, you were very receptive to me doing exactly what you said Yanni's going to do to me. I wouldn't call you out in front of everybody. I'd just talk to you after they're starting to drill and just be like, hey, maybe this way, or what do you think about this, or why do you do this? And you were one of the first people that was humble enough to kind of take it and be like, oh yeah, I'll do that. And then we kept doing that over and over again. Then we started... Remember, we had that one day we were doing the one-legged X where we kept sweeping each other. Oh,
boy, do I remember.
So silly.
You're like, you can't even pass single leg X. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Back and forth. I swept you, you swept me. I swept you. And I'm like, you couldn't do it either. Yeah, you're right. We both need to work on that position. I miss those days because I also taught in front of Yanni, which I was never afraid of. And I always liked the little tweaks afterwards.
But it makes sense to like it from him, but why would you even listen to me? You didn't really even know me.
You're Yanni B. Part 2? Something like that.
I'm the extension.
Okay.
I'm an extension of.
Okay.
Yeah, but how did you
know? I'm the extension of the extension.
But how did you know?
I feel at a certain level, you can tell when someone's doing something a little bit better than what you're doing, or when someone can add something to your game.
You can tell. But how can you tell? Not everybody can tell. Most people, I think, wouldn't take that. They might listen to me and be polite about it, but then, kind of brush it off.
Why? I don't know why.
You don't know?
Do I need a reason? No, I don't know. If I could feel
but I would
that you had something
but if you could...
legit.
People are listening to this right now, and I would like... Maybe they could learn from that, too. It's hard to let in, especially feedback about jiu-jitsu, is when you learn something a certain way, you get accustomed to it, and especially when it works. Because a lot of the stuff that you were showing... I think it would work fine, but there's a little better way. And then I've had that ways to grab underhooks, ways to spin and go to arm bars differently, ways to break. Yanni was showing that reverse half guard pass, and he added these 2 details, and I start doing them. I trust him immediately that this has to be the right way.
Sure.
But not everybody has that instant trust, especially if it's not a teacher from their school or even a peer that's from a different school. They're not going to just listen right away.
I could feel something in the technique, or I could tell that this little tweak would be an improvement. I don't know.
I think
I
you should
trusted you.
You should reflect on that, because you can't just blindly trust anybody that tells you a technique. There's got to be some kind of criteria that you have in your head, right? Because you wouldn't just let anybody.
It was a feeling. I can feel. I know that I don't have all the answers. If someone is able to show me something and that I could feel it is actually better or an improvement to what I'm doing, why wouldn't I accept it?
But what if it wasn't?
Then I wouldn't accept it.
What would you say to me?
Thank you.
I guess you took most of my feedback. I don't remember you ever just spit in my face and be like, this is no good. Oh, is somebody home?
Possibly. Our private time is being ruined.
That's okay. So we're going to wrap this up. I do enjoy doing this. We will do this more.
How do you like the new studio?
I love it.
Perfect.
We got to get the cameras, though. We got to get some merch. The
this would actually be, we put the camera right there. This could be the studio. No?
I don't mind
I'd
it.
sit just like this. My arm's getting a little tired, though. I got to switch. Perfect.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Now we're going to go to the outro.
Outro. Are you going to sing us in? Wait, you still owe me a song. The Doors. The Storks. The
Storks.
What is it called?
The Strokes.
Strokes.
Do it on the outro.
Go.
All right?
Go.
He wanted easy, he wanna relax. Said I can do a lot of things, but I can do that. 2 steps forward, then 3 steps back. It won't be easy. I hate myself.
That's perfect, though.
That's all it takes. 2 seltzer drinks with 5% alcohol, and Dave can get me to sing real songs.
I know. Normally you don't sing that much. That was a lot.
Ugh.
I like it. That was good. So what do you think about this?
I really enjoyed it.
I still want to do more of just us.
You know, you're right. When we started this, right, it was just me and you for the first 3 episodes. We were recording an episode 4 together, and I was very disappointed in it. It was just, I didn't like it. I didn't.
We had one bad episode.
I know, and I thought I just got I got discouraged, and I got scared that it's always going to be like that now. I feel like we hit a peak, and we just weren't going to do it again.
Okay.
And so I got scared, so I'm like, we have to do guests, And then we did Yanni as our first guest, and I was very happy with that because it was new. He had different things that he could add. 3 people's a lot easier to kind of spread the wealth around. 2 people, it's a lot of onus. When I talk, then you talk, and we got to keep going, keep bouncing. And today we sat down together, thought of the topics, had it all laid out, just a reference point to go back to over and over again. We did that for episode 10, which is why it was my favorite that we did together. And this one was my favorite now.
You know what we'll do for the next time, though? We're actually going to we have everyone's names written down here, but we didn't write what episode they were on, so we stumbled a little
Yeah.
bit. Maybe next time we'll write their name and episode number. That way we don't give out the wrong episode for each guest. How about that?
I agree. See,
That's
we're
good.
still getting better.
Did you see that we had a little bit of feedback from Matilda?
Who's Matilda?
We talked about the movie, the kid that ate the cake.
Oh, we did.
Yes. Jenny Hess, she knew the kid's name that ate the cake.
Who was
Bruce.
Bruce. I haven't seen Matilda in so long.
So thank you for that feedback. We
Thank you.
love it.
Greatly appreciated. And if you would like to continue the feedback, you can send us an email at tothedeathpodcast@gmail.com or all our social medias.
At To The Death Podcast.
I'd like to thank our sponsor, Core BJJ. You can follow them at Core BJJ NJ on all social medias. Go to their website, corebjjnj.com. They have sponsored all the equipment that we have, and I love them.
They love you too, Ed. Also, be sure and go to our website, tothedeathpodcast.com. There's a contact page. You can also link to all of our episodes right from there.
There should be video on there soon enough. I'm working on it. It's going to be happening.
I'm sure it's going to happen. The video was a lot more work. Not that I did it. Ed did it. Let's make sure we give credit where credit is due. Thank you once again, Ed, for your hard work. But I was there, so... Right.
And please keep the judgments out about the singing. I'm just still writhing in agony of embarrassment.
I love it. It was, you know what? I was not expecting that much singing. I was expecting you to drop a line like you usually do when we go into the outro. But because of these alcoholic beverages, you really just poured your soul into it.
That's why I never wanted to drink on here, because then I'm going to try to rely on it.
You asked me for it.
I know. I was hoping you were going to drink too.
I don't drink.
I don't really drink either.
And I don't respond to peer pressure. You're not going to peer pressure me into drinking for sure.
I don't usually respond to peer pressure.
That wasn't peer pressure.
Oh, good.
You asked for them.
Yeah, I asked for it. Yeah, see, neither.
So also, because I haven't done it in a while, I'd like to shout out my number 1 fan, Ed's mom, and my number 2 fan, John Galante.
Yep, thanks again, Johnny.
Now, did we talk about this once before? I can't remember. I actually reached out to your dad on Facebook Messenger to ask him a question about baseball cards, and his response, just Google it.
Exactly. Perfect.
I was trying to,
connect.
yes, have a better connection with one of my fans, and he didn't care.
That's one of the things that happens. Your expectations were too high.
Now, I want to know, did he continue his training once he got back to Florida?
Of course not.
That was it, once and done.
No, when he comes back up here, he'll come back to you.
Okay, so twice and done.
No, once a year. Twice a year.
He could use more.
Don't say that. Everybody could use more.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it in a negative way.
Okay.
I think it would be a positive thing to add to his life.
I agree. So anybody listening to this right now, try to get one person you know to either get back into it or just give it a try. Anywhere. Doesn't have to be with Dave, but it always helps your life, right?
Absolutely.
Right. I can't believe you made me sing like that. I'm just going to cut it all out.
Do not remove it. So I have to go back and listen now because I can't remember, because we were just talking about your dad. Has the story of your Airbnb with your father been released for the podcast? Or was that on the disappearing episode 4?
I can't even remember now. I haven't listened to those first episodes again in a long time.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to listen to every single one once I go back to work, because I'm not going to do it now. But once I go back to work and I'm miserable for 8 hours a day, I'm going to cheer myself up with some To the Death podcast.
Okay, fantastic. I can't wait to listen to and edit this one.
After I find out if you've told that story or not for the people, I want to hear it again.
Okay.
Because it's a good one.
Don't build it up too much.
I think it's hilarious.
Okay. What do we have coming up next week?
Next week, provided everything comes together as it should have this week, we have a fantastic guest lined up. It should be very good. We will have plenty to disagree about. There should be plenty of bickering back and forth, and I'm looking forward to a no-gi specialist putting you in your place.
I am also looking forward to it because it's a different perspective.
Oh my gosh.
So that's all we have for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. We had a lot of fun with this one. Dave, take us out.
Thanks for listening. This is To the Death Podcast.
Episode 19.
I don't think that's how you say it.
What is it? Yeah, it is.
Diez?
Diez. What is it?
Isn't it just Diez?
Diez 9? No. Diez.
It's not Diez.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Let's hold, please.
Hold, please. Go to
Please?
Google. What is it?
No, I'm not Googling.
What do you do?
I'm calling the wife.
Oh, get her on here.
Oh, she just texted me.
What'd she say?
She wanted to know if I took care of the chickens.
Did you?
Oh, I should go.
No, it's fine. Just put it right up to it.
Yeah, okay.
Just short and sweet. How do you say 19 in Spanish? She's not going to pick up.
Probably not.
She knows that we're doing
She's
this.
probably in the shower.
Do your kids...
Hey.
Ask him. He knows.
No, he doesn't know.
Ask him.
Emmett.
Yeah.
How do you say 19 in Spanish?
19.
Yes!
Not diez.
Dieci. That's what I said.
That's not what you said.
Yes, it is. 19. Well, you said 19. That's what you said.
No, it's
Yes, you did.
It's 3 words. 19.
Is it 3 words?
Yeah. No, wait.
But
Mom,
it-
is it 3
Because
words?
it's 10 and 9. That's what it means.
Yeah, is it 3 words? Just 1 word.
But it's 3 words, right?
Not 3
It's
wo-
10 and 9.
No. 19. That's what I said.
You're on the podcast too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the podcast.
It's three syllables, right? 19.
I just didn't like the way you said it.
You said
You said
19.
dieci.
No, I did.
You said dieci.
19.
Like you're saying daisy or something.
No, but you said
All right.
19.
That's it. We got everything we need. I'll be in just a minute. Thank you. And I'm talking into the microphone. All right, goodbye.
Bye, podcast.
But you're wrong. Just admit it. You said 19.
No, it's diez y nueve.
You didn't say the E. You just said 19.
I didn't like the way you were saying
It's
it.
fine that my...
Dieci
I got a
y
bad...
nueve.
Yeah, I got a bad accent.
You said dieci y nueve. That's what you said.
No way. I didn't add 3.
Rewind it and play it back. Can you play it back from this thing?
I can't play it back.
Oh,
So
now we have to wait until you edit it out?
if I said it wrong, it's out. But
Oh,
I did say it
gosh.
right because you...
All right. So anyway, this is episode 19.
There you go. To the Death Podcast. See you next week.